Hi there, Julia Lyons here with your Herbal Ally post of the week. And this week I decided that we should talk about cannabis. So many of you probably know it's 420, which is kind of like the marijuana holiday of the year. So I just couldn't resist but to talk about it. So cannabis is a plant that I've worked with for many, many years on and off. And I've learned a lot about the spirit of this medicine and about the plant itself through all of that time. Now, during this time, I've kind of gone in and out of right relationship with this plant, which is something that I really want to kind of highlight here and talk about. So, what does it mean to be in right relationship with any plant? It's really any plant, any habit, anything that we're living around or with, or especially anything that we're ingesting and putting into our bodies. We want to make sure that, to the best of our ability, we can be working with this plant in right relationship so that it can be showing up and serving us for our highest good, and so that we don't get into kind of impulsive, maybe non-healthy, ways with this plant. We want to try and stay in as good of terms with it. So, marijuana is really a kind of tricky one with that. I like to say that, just like the buds are really sticky, and if you're breaking it up or working with it, it sticks with you. Your fingers get all sticky. It might not be the easiest to wash off. And that is really characteristic of the personality of this plant, especially kind of nowadays. So what I've realized from working with this plant is that its spirit is very sticky. It can cloud up your space. It can kind of be very present in your space in a way that could either be really beautiful or maybe could not serve you for your highest good. For me, I know that she tends to get a sticky grip on me, and it's kind of hard if I'm wanting to create space to be able to do that with ease. It's one of the trickier things. It also doesn't help that in our culture we kind of tend to go overboard with her. But with that being said, being in right relationship is completely different for each person. So for some people, they might need to smoke or eat or ingest cannabis throughout their whole day just so they can get through the day in terms of physical pain or different ailments that cannabis is helping them with. I know a lot of people who, have to really use her much more than I do for very solid, good reasons. So for one person, that might be them working in right relationship. For other people, it might be like, okay, once a week or, once a month or whenever they really feel called. Now, it looks different for everyone, so there's no need to compare each other and to say, oh, well, they smoke much more than me, so they're out of right relationship. That's not it at all. It's completely individualistic, based on needs, and based on your individual relationship with the plant. So, with that being said, there are so many amazing stories of how cannabis has helped people to heal, to become a better person, to get to know themselves. And it's just not for everyone, and that's totally okay. We never have to make someone or want someone else to work with a plant or understand a plant the way we do, because these are very one-on-one kind of relationships that we each have with each specific plant. So it's really beautiful in that way. Now, it is interesting because I've found throughout my relationship with cannabis that it can help with so many different things. And then at the same time, depending on the day, depending on my mental state, my mood, the things that it once helped with can be totally flipped. And it could, maybe one day cannabis would really help me to relax or to let go of anxiety. And other days it just kicks my anxiety up. So it's really interesting to work with a plant or a medicine and to see how variable it can be. I mean, I'm kind of working right now of taking some space from cannabis. And even so, I it's tricky, you know? I've noticed that when I do smoke, all of a sudden anxiety is kicked in and I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know why. And it's really just that it really, for me, heightens my state of awareness. It heightens my sensitivity. You know, it really impacts me to the nervous system, just straight there. And so I'm kind of trying to work at digging and saying, like, where is this coming from? What's going on? Is it my anxiety? Is it someone else's that I'm around? Is it because I'm not really meant to work with this plant at this time, you know? Other times in my life, it has been dramatically helpful for me to reflect and reevaluate things that have happened or ways that I've behaved with a different lens, a different kind of frame of mind. So I've really been able to do a lot of internal growth and healing, working with kind of the mental aspect of cannabis and seeing how it can serve me in that way. You know, I know there's so many different ways and so many different ways to work with this and ways for people to benefit from it. And, you know, I just encourage you all to keep an open mind with cannabis, to see how it might be serving you in times and how it might not be in others. Because she's a really tricky one and she's wanting to be a little bit more respected, I feel, by everyone, by the world. So that's where I'm going to cut it here for today. As always, if you have any questions or if you have a plant that you want me to highlight or talk about, please just comment below or send me a message. Talk to y'all later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.